I'm gonna be king of the pirates. I'm Man217 and today I'm gonna draw Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. Usually I start with my sketch, but I don't want you to see all my pain and suffering, and I didn't think I was gonna like this piece, so I didn't really record it. So we're gonna jump right into the inks. Snap. So I start here with this awesome pose. I did this kind of a upshot because it makes him look taller because he is a stretchy character. I wanted him to look like he's kind of stretching above you. And you could definitely see this with his arm. I made that arm very thin and kind of long. You can see by the very long forearms and the long bicep. I love the way that arm looks. It makes him look very stretchy. He's made of rubber. I think it captures Luffy's essence. Another thing I want to point out is that when you are doing your inks, you gotta be careful and try not to get any bad tangents. A bad tangent is when two lines kind of take on the same path, and it kind of tricks your mind into not knowing what the line is for. So in this instance, my line for my hair is kind of matching with the line for the hat, and it can confuse your brain into not knowing what it's looking at. Is it looking at a hat? Is it looking at the hair? I don't know. Now, it's very subtle, and sometimes you might not even notice it, but it can change your drawing. It can change your composition. It can affect your composition. And since that example is very subtle, I want to give you a more extreme example. This one right here is an amazing self-portrait of me standing in front of a barn and a door that's just floating there and is not connected to anything, but that is okay. It doesn't matter. As you can see, this one is riddled in bad tangents. You can see the lines of the hat are lined up with the lines of the door and the lines of the barn, and that doesn't look good. It's confusing and it makes you think too hard. To make you see the problems a little bit more, you can see the red lines are the lines that are supposed to be for my character, and the blue lines are the lines that are supposed to be for the scenery. They perfectly sync up, and that's not good. We don't want that. To fix it, you just gotta make sure you move the elements around so that those lines do not meet. Here's a quick fix. Look at that, a lot better, and I don't have to think. I don't want to think, I'm an artist. I just want to look at the piece and say, wow, that's cool. I'm just kidding. We can make people think with our art. I'm just kidding. I do go back and fix it a little bit by moving the hair a little bit off of the hat, but I should have exaggerated it more and moved it further away. But I was lazy. Don't do as I do as I say. Uncle Iroh, 32BK, before Korra. But back to Luffy. I just watched the live action on Netflix and it was amazing. Now, bear with me, I have not seen the anime. I know, an anime fan that has not watched One Piece. It's just too many episodes for me. I can't commit to 1,000 episodes. I really do want to watch it though. It looks amazing. I see clips here and there of Luffy and fights that they're in, but I just can't watch 1,000 episodes. I'm too late to the party. But the live action was actually kind of amazing. But back to my drawing, I want to make sure I add a background before I start the rendering. Now that I have the flat colors down, you want to have your scenery in place. You do this first because things in your scenery can affect what the lighting is doing in your scene. Basically, if you draw something on the side of the character, it might block the light from the character, or it might have the light reflect onto your character in a certain way. You want to have all of this down before you do your rendering. It makes it look more real. It makes your character look more part of your background if you know exactly where the lighting and shadows are going to be interacting with your character. I do switch to Photoshop for my background, not all the time, but I just prefer the Photoshop brushes rather than the clip brushes. There's just so many and they're all included with your subscription, so I love the brushes in Photoshop. Look at those birds, caca! Anyway, the live action really has me wanting to try and commit to those 1,000 episodes in the anime. I couldn't blink. I was staring at that screen, kind of like you're staring at those abs. You like that? I have abs like that too. Don't ask my wife, okay? Just take my word for it. They are there, okay? It looks exactly like that. Now I am gonna make those abs look a little bit more natural because they're just thick black lines. They don't look natural at all, so I'm gonna try to make them look more real and blend them in later with the rendering. This is something I do need to work on. When I do abs, they're usually softer abs and they're not really flexed like this. And I'm not used to painting them or rendering them in this kind of bulging, very strong way. It's something I need to work on, and I am going to practice it. That's why I chose to do it here. I don't think that the actor in the live action had protruding abs like that. I don't remember, at least. But It's something I want to work on, so I had to add it to this piece. With that being said, my Luffy that I'm drawing right now is a mix of the anime and a mix of the live action. I wanted him to look more or less like the actor a little bit, but also have the big eyes like the anime and things like that. And for those of you who don't trust live action animes, I know it's hard to trust them. Thank you, Dragon Ball Evolution. For those of you who didn't watch that, we try not to talk about that one. It's kind of like Bruno and Kanto. We don't talk about it. There are also other live action adaptations that we don't really hear good things about, like Attack on Titan. I've seen that anime and it is amazing. Okay, if you haven't watched that, watch it. It's one of the best. Not the live action though. I didn't see that. There's also Full Metal Alchemist, which is unpopular opinion. One of my favorite live action adaptations was Death Note. Hear me out, okay? Don't kill me, okay? Don't stop watching. I liked Death Note because I hadn't watched the anime yet. I actually watched the anime after I watched the live action. I watched the movie and I liked it so much that I needed to watch the anime. Now, after I watched the anime, I realized that the movie was not that good. It did not really do the show justice. But if you watch the live action with that in mind, with an open mind, maybe you can think of it as an alternate reality where this is also happening, another universe. Maybe you can enjoy it. Maybe not, I don't know. I actually liked it. But the anime is still supreme. There's also Alice in Borderland, one of my favorite live action adaptations, probably my top. I'm not sure, either One Piece or Alice in Borderland. Again, I didn't watch that anime, so I don't have much to compare it to, but I see it gets a lot of high praise. Even the live action gets pretty good high praises. Back to my drawing, you see here that I'm changing the outlines from a dark black to the color of the character. I do that by making a clipping mask above the inks layer and then selecting the color closest to it and just painting over it. It's a little bit tedious, but I love the way it comes out. Sometimes I make the line just a little bit darker than the color next to it, and sometimes I make it exactly the same. That's just a style choice. You decide what you like better. I like for it to look like limeless art in some cases and then have some inks in some cases. Lastly, I add some effects like halftones and cross-hatching, add some more lighting effects, and here it is, my Monkey D. Luffy, King of the Pirates. This one is awesome. I think I did the show justice. I hope you all like it. Let me know down in the comments below if you liked the live action, if you've seen it, if you watched the 1,000 episodes of the anime. Just let me know if I need to start watching that anime. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, and remember, I'm awesome. I think. Thanks for watching.